The Raleigh area attracts a lot of people relocating because our schools are some of the highest ranked in the country, but our system also works a little bit differently than many other places. There's a lot of choice in where your kids go to school, and that can be really confusing if you're moving here. I hope this video sheds a little bit of light on the Raleigh school system. Schools in Raleigh are part of the Wake County school system. This means that hiring and funding happens at the county level, so all schools have the same resources. Every town in Wake County that you might be considering is part of this same system. That includes Cary, Apex, Morrisville, Holly Springs, Fuquay, Garner, Knightdale, Wendell, Zebulon, and Wake Forest. Every home is zoned to a particular school system. You can just enroll in your neighborhood school and not worry about any of the other options, but sometimes you can get bumped from your neighborhood school. Stick around to the end and I'll talk a little bit more about that. There are different types of schools to choose from, as well as different calendars from which to choose, which I'll also cover in this video. Parents can choose from the neighborhood school, a public magnet school, a public charter school, or tuition-funded private schools. Homeschools are also popular in North Carolina, even outpacing private school growth. A charter school is paid for through public funding, but operationally speaking behaves more like a private school. That doesn't mean that they don't have oversight from the Department of Public Education. It just means their organizational structure is a little bit different. Charter schools can be founded by parents in the community who see a need for a particular educational model, such as Montessori charter, like Sterling Montessori in Morrisville, or a charter can be founded by a for-profit corporation such as Cardinal Charter Academy in Cary. Charter schools are free to develop their own curriculum and don't have to follow the state-adopted Common Core curriculum. However, they're held to the same accountability standards. Admission into charter schools is granted to students based on lottery. The lottery process usually begins in January or February of the preceding school year. Check individual school websites for specific instructions. I've posted a link to all of the North Carolina charter schools in the comments below. Charter schools have greater flexibility in teacher licensure. Only 50% of their faculty is required to have teacher licensure. This allows charters to hire talented scientists, mathematicians, and writers, for example, who've been successful in the public sector but have not pursued teacher licensure. Most charter schools offer school tours starting in November of the preceding school year. Again, check individual websites listed below for information about school tours. Each school is different. As a publicly funded school, charter schools must provide equal access to all students, such as students with special needs or disabilities. For more information about students with special needs, I've posted some links in the comments below. There's also a list of North Carolina charter schools by county. Unlike a charter school, a magnet school is a traditional public school that follows the state-mandated Common Core curriculum. The mission of Wake County magnet schools is to reduce concentrations of poverty, create more diverse environments, and increase academic success in schools with a lower socioeconomic status. In order to accomplish that mission, in addition to the state curriculum, magnet schools have a particular focus or learning style. For example, Kingswood Elementary is a Montessori magnet. Combs Elementary, voted the #1 magnet school in America, is a leadership school modeled on Stephen Covey's 7 Habits. Jeffries Grove Elementary offers language immersion, and Enloe High is a gifted and talented IB school. I've posted a complete list of Wake County magnet schools in the comments. Magnet schools receive additional funding to support their focus with additional staff and supplies. If your child has never registered in a public school in the county in which your desired magnet exists, you must register your student in your base school in order to apply for a magnet. Registration must be done in person at the school. However, you can get a list of documents you'll need and some printable documents in the comments section below. Eligibility. You must live in the county of your desired magnet school. This is not the case for charter schools, where you can apply to any charter in the state of North Carolina. You will be asked to choose several magnet options and rank them in order of desirability. Magnets are competitive and you won't always get your top choice. There's also a preschool option. Kingswood Elementary has a for-profit preschool that, if your child attends, will move them to the top of the list for enrollment into Kingswood Kindergarten. Sterling Montessori also has this option. You can apply to Kingswood Pre-K in the comments section below. Neighborhood priority. Different schools have different priorities for enrollment. I've provided another link in the comments so you can check your address to see whether you have high or low priority for that address. Priority is based on a series of factors, including socioeconomic status of the neighborhood. Remember, the purpose of magnets is to provide diversity in schools, but having a sibling in the school or a parent teaching at the school also factors in. Deadlines. There are deadlines for magnet school enrollment. There's a link below to find out the deadline this year. Transportation. Transportation is not standardized across magnet schools. Some schools will provide neighborhood busing, but more frequently you will have the option of either express busing, which is delivering your child to a central location where the bus will meet for pickup, or parent-provided transportation. To find out your options, there's a link below in the comments to view your base assignment, and then you can click on magnet options to see transportation options for each school. Traditional schools. Most people who refer to traditional schools mean the neighborhood public school that their home is zoned to. Since magnet schools are traditional public schools with a magnet designation, your neighborhood school might be a magnet school. If that is the case, you don't have to apply to the magnet. Your child will be considered a base student. Charter schools are never zoned to neighborhoods though. All students in charter schools must apply to get in, even if they live next door. No matter which school you choose, in my opinion, the quality of the school is more dependent upon the leadership and their ability to hire and retain quality teachers than it is to any one model. Once you understand the differences in the school models, I always recommend the best way to choose is to visit the school, talk to the principal and teachers, observe students in their natural environment, and read online reviews at places like great schools. I know that's a little difficult in the time of COVID, but certainly a phone interview will be very helpful. If you want to hear my personal experience with the different types of schools in Wake County, there's a video about it here. Calendar options. Year-round, traditional, adjusted year-round. In addition to the choices Wake County parents have with the type of school, you're also offered different calendar options. If you go to the page where you can search your address for your base school and enter your address, you'll see a page that looks like this. Click on the link that says View Application Schools to see your magnet and calendar options. You will also notice the red lettering under the magnet school option in this screenshot. I'll address school capping a little bit later in the video. In parentheses next to your school options, you'll see an abbreviation for the type of calendar used by each school. You can see each of my base options are traditional calendar because the abbreviation TRAD is next to the name of each school. There are 4 different tracks for year-round schools. Year-round school doesn't mean the kids go to school all the time. Rather than a long 12-week break in the summer, they attend school for 9 weeks and then get a 3-week break. This allows them to keep the school buildings in constant use, saving money on the cost of building more school buildings. It makes sense in that regard. Since school is in session for 180 days per year, buildings really do lie empty for literally half of the school year. Modified year-round calendar. The last type of calendar is the modified year-round calendar. If you can make this one work, grab it. It's the best schedule ever. The modified calendar has a shortened summer, about 8 weeks, and the students receive a 2-week break after every 9-week session. Before he was a realtor, my husband Timothy was a teacher, and at one time he worked in a modified calendar school. I really believe it's the best option for student and teacher productivity. Having a 2-week break every quarter is so refreshing. Not to mention that you're able to take vacations when other people are still in school, avoiding the summertime crowds and heat. Hello, NC Mountains in October. You can find all the Wake County calendar options in the links below. Early college is one more calendar option. The early college schools are designed to give students the opportunity to graduate high school in 5 years with 2 years of college completed for free. The schools team up with local colleges to allow students to take college-level coursework while in high school. For that reason, the schedule is synced to the colleges they're connected to. You can find links and information about the 6 early college high schools in the comments. The last thing you should know about Wake County schools is the school capping issue. Every home in Wake County is zoned to a particular public school, and it will likely be near where you live. However, due to the tremendous growth in the triangle over the last 10 to 15 years, schools in districts with the most growth and new construction frequently have enrollment caps. That means that if you move into your desired school district, you might be assigned to an overflow school. I've linked a list of capped schools for the upcoming school year in the comments. School capping can be a really frustrating problem for new families moving into the area. Moving is a stressful time, and throwing in that level of uncertainty with something as important as your child's education can be scary. However, here are a couple of points to consider when thinking about school capping. 1, there are only a few schools capped every year. There are 171 schools in the Wake County system, and each year a small percentage of those are capped, so buying in a capped zone is not very likely. In 2020, out of 171 schools, there were 20 that were capped in the district. Number 2, there's often an inordinate amount of weight given to getting into the best schools. As a mother of 4 children, I've had students in different Wake County schools from elementary to high school. I can definitely attest that the most popular school districts are not popular because they're better than the other schools. There are great schools throughout Wake County. Number 3, even if your school is capped and you don't get in, from what I have seen, families are almost always just as pleased with the overflow school as with the capped school. I've posted a link where you can search for homes by school zone in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, you might also like this one about the 10 reasons people love living in Raleigh. Have a great day.